mindfulness 24/7. What it means that we can be in the state of mindfulness. What is that 24/7? It is awakening. It is a realization. What is that realization? That I am the real self. What is the real self? It is pure consciousness. What it has to do with the pure consciousness? It is of the nature of peace, love, happiness, and wisdom. Very good. Provided we are a seeker. I repeat it again, we are a seeker. So, why we are not a seeker? I'm just explaining the latest metaphor of the space. So, you need to pay attention. You are listening to me, you are in a session, so you are already paying attention. Is it 100%? Ashok says yes. No, it is not 100%. You listen something and your mind is going somewhere. So that drops you becoming a seeker. And that I explained on Mondays and Thursdays session. Awake and, perhaps you remember, awake and aware. Why should I say perhaps? You all are seekers, so you remember. So, yes, continue further. What we understand and what masters know who we are. There is a difference between the two. We change who we are according to our experiences. And that is not becoming a seeker. Oh, my morning was not good. Oh, yeah. Morning attacked you. See that? Morning attacked you, and that's why your morning is not good. Morning is the same everywhere. Do you see that? What did I say? We change who we are according to our experiences. So experiences of pain and pleasure, sorrow and happiness, duality and a conflict, and then we claim who we are. That is falsehood. That is created by the false I. That is an I thought. I cannot be my experience. So then I am not a seeker. How come? Explain little further. I did not understand. When I stand in the body, I thought. Then we have a fear about the birth and death. When I thought stand in the energy, I feel hungry and thirsty. So what I say, I'm hungry. So I identified myself with the hunger, with the thirst. I'm thirsty, I'm hungry. I'm scared. I'm scared to die. One guy went to my master and said that I'm scared of the death. I said, no problem. I will give you a guarantee. What guarantee? One day you will definitely die. I still remember. One day you will definitely die because I thought is associated with the physical body. Now see, when I thought is associated with the mind, what happens? Sorrow and happiness, pain and pleasure. How easy it is, isn't it? How easy? If I'm aware of sorrow and happiness. Okay, mind, do you want to make me crazy? No way. I'm not the mind. No, I'm scared of the death. No, I'm not the body. Are you getting it? Say yes. Say a big yes. So when I stand with an intellect, then what happens? Strong likes and dislikes. Attachment and detachment. I'm none of these things where the I thought gets associated, creates a false self. I stop becoming a seeker. So when I stop becoming a seeker, then what happens? I become crazy. And then what happens? Someone says that you are crazy. How dare you say that? Admit that you are crazy. Change yourself. Move from the false to the real. Are you getting it? No, no. How dare I claim? How dare anyone say that I'm crazy? You are already crazy because you identify yourself with the body, with the energy, with the breath, with the mind, with the intellect, with the likes and dislikes, pain and the pleasure, hunger and the thirst, and fear of the death. What are other kind of a craziness that we want to have? We're already crazy. So accept that. Yes, yes, I'm crazy. Let me change my stand. So you move from being a non-seeker to a seeker. That is very important. So when I'm a seeker means awake and aware all the time. Now let us understand in a different way. I'm still explaining you, I'm opening up that how to understand that metaphor of a space. So keep that in your mind. So how to understand we are a seeker of happiness? I'm asking the same question and answering the same question in a different way. So how to understand we are a outermost layer. What is the outermost layer of our existence? It is the world outside. What the world consists of? World consists of people, place, time. They all connect together, they create a situation, event. Morning is a situation, afternoon is a situation, meeting with a person is a situation. Are you dictated by the outer world? You are not seeker. But if you apply the conventional methods there and then, you are a seeker. But that is just the beginning. It is not the end of the story. So we instantly purify the mind. What happens? We discover this I thought, commander in chief, perceives the situation, one, wants the situation and relations based on wisdom? No. Based on discernment? No. Based on likes and dislikes, duality, pain and the pleasure. That is why we say the world is suffering. We apply the conventional method. But that is just the beginning. At a surface level, we have purified the mind. We have to go deeper. So I recognize the false I is running my life and I drop it through my awareness. Then what happens after applying the conventional methods? I conserve my energy. What is the result of this applying the conventional methods? Now, in day to day life, you experience the calmness, freshness. The moment you wake up in the morning and the mind says it's a bad morning, you say, hold on, don't dictate over me. What a crazy day I am meeting my honey who reacted to me, etc., etc. A lot of things. It is because of the I thought. So, what is the result? Two result. Second result is that you find that sense of calmness and relax and full of energy, freshness. You are not actually busy. You are organized. So, this is what is known as the external practices. What are conventional method? And then you remember being auspicious in an auspicious moment. Whether you're doing, you do namaste to yourself. Forget the others. I am you and you are me. Yes, I am the real self. That will also work. If you believe in some teacher or some god and goddesses of the religion, that will also work. You are using them to change your mind. So that becomes an internal to the conventional method. But now it is also external application. Then what should I do? After applying the conventional methods, then I do the namaste, and then I follow discernment and dispassion. Discernment and dispassion is the third layer. What happens? Discernment and so now see, for conventional method, us being auspicious being in an auspicious moment is internal, but for discernment and dispassion, the being auspicious is external. So three layers. So when you follow the three layers, then you start experiencing. You need not to worry about that whether you are calm or relaxed or not. You will definitely be relaxed. You have applied all the three layers. Those six treasures, do you remember? The calmness, the endurance, the faith, the naturally focused mind, and the sense withdrawal. You live in a higher awareness. So those six treasures, now that is internal with reference to the first three layers. Then what about it? Then aware and awake begins the self-inquiry. So what we have been talking about, then we have been talking about, am I a seeker? So when I reach to a point of self-inquiry, I am a seeker. I am a highest level of a seeker. What this master teaches to the highest seekers, because we all are highest seekers, let us begin the self-inquiry. Oh, you have been doing gossiping until now? Yes. But gossiping has a very valid point. Different layers. Different layers. When we are not a seeker, again, one more point. When we are not a seeker, where my mind, effort are directed in life, I'm actually busy, I'm unorganized. I say life is struggle and distress. That is what happens. You don't know I carry the burden of the stress for the last many years. Then you become a philosopher. You become a philosopher. You don't know how much struggle I have done in my life. Yes, you are the only one who does the struggle in the life. Simple answer, you are not a seeker. No, but you have to answer. When we are not a seeker, where the mind is going, the mind chooses the means as a goals of life. And that is why we become actually busy. Did you understand? Means as a goals and the goals as a means. So my goal is to have $1 million to be happy. So happiness is a goal. I made the happiness as a means. I made money as a goal. I made the effort to put as a goal. So when I make all the efforts is my goal, you cannot work 24 hours. It will tire you, it will exhaust you, it will create likes and dislikes, it will bring your energy level down. Do you understand that? It is happening in the mind. That mind, through the discernment, go back, through the discernment and dispassion, applying the conventional method, being auspicious, you have changed the locus of the mind. So you realize that these are the efforts, these are the means, and there is only one goal of life is to be in the state of happiness, to discover that peace and happiness in our life. Am I clear? No issue, say that. You are always clear. Yes, I think so. Not always clear. So when you are always clear, you are a seeker. How simple and easy the journey is. Now I see the smile on the face of Ashok just a year ago. I'm not going to tell everything. He told me a lot of issues, lot of challenges. Now those people are still with him. That situation still is there, but he's happy. That is the beauty of this journey. So now come back, continue. We started. So if we understand what is real, what is false, and what is unreal, now because we are a seeker, we realize whenever the false I lives the life in me, it creates a conditional reality. Why it is a conditional reality? Because my mind is heavily conditioned by the society, culture, religion, seeking pain and pleasure, making an effort. Am I clear? I'm making the things very clear. So conditional reality means what? I depend on something outside for my peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. You're doing good. Yes. Last week, one guy said, "You're earning." Yes, yes, I'm earning much more than. But there is a lot of stress in the workplace. Why you go to the office then? So stress and suffering versus the wealth. No, I'm getting a lot of money, so I think that I'll be happy. I will be happy. I said, okay, very good. You will be happy. That is a conditional reality. Conditional reality is what? It is reflected consciousness. It is I thought. It is I thought. Conditional reality is an I thought. We need a freedom from this I that believes conditional reality is the absolute reality. The mind is heavily convinced about this conditional reality, and that is why we have to work every day. We have to live into that auspicious moment. We have to apply that conventional method. We have to live in discernment and dispassion. We have to live in that knowledge. The life changes. What is the knowledge then? Oh, we are picking up step by step. What is the knowledge? Knowledge in a thought. I know Stephen. So there is a I thought with an object. Object is Stephen is equal to the knowledge of this Stephen. Look at it. What is a thought? Thought consists of the words plus consciousness. And now we come to the thought. Thought is equal to I thought or I am plus Stephen in this case. So if I become aware of who the hell this I am is it a conditional reality? Is it a false I? It can drop. You already know all the mixture is the thought. So once you understand, look at this, electricity plus the lamp is equal to light. Light is not seen. The electricity is not seen in the lamp or in the bulb. So once you understand these I've told you, you really understand. So now come to the metaphor. So last time, perhaps, yeah, we discussed about this metaphor. So this metaphor is about the space. So the space is equated with the four stages of consciousness, or you can say four types of consciousness. Internally, we are 100% clear that consciousness is one at the level of the intellect, but it has to be realized that we all are essentially one consciousness, but the mind comes with a lot of challenges. You made me crazy, so there are two consciousnesses. I love you, two consciousnesses. In both the cases, look at it. I love you. Really, you love me. I know that. So the moment I say I love you, so either you love, we sometimes we also say, I remember something. Oh, I love my dog. Yes, because dog has to swing his tail. That is all. That's why, and they cannot pose you any threat. So obviously, I love my dog and I love my cat. Keep on loving. I love my cat, anesthesia. I seen that. We want an authority even in love. Nothing happens, the dog and the cat are not going to listen, not going to oppose you. So that love is an attachment. Leave it. So come to this metaphor. We discussed that there is a pot, there is a pot space, and there is an infinite space outside. Why Master is explaining the four types of consciousnesses. I'm speaking false, making a false statement. But he says that is what you realize in everyday life. So let me start from there. And then we will reach to one consciousness. That is only the real self. That is the pure consciousness. So he says, no, I'm coming down to your level. So there is a space inside the pot and there is an infinite space outside. Our mind instantly recognizes there are two spaces, but the fact is that there are no two spaces. There are no two spaces. So now, space inside the pot and space outside the pot, you see the space inside and outside without that pot. They are essentially one. That is the nature of the real self. That is one pure consciousness. So here the master says only the space inside the pot, minus the boundaries, is the real self. Clear? And the infinite space all around is the Supreme Self. We just label it. What is Supreme Self? We say God, Goddesses, etc. Now that real self is hidden behind, but I see a part. That is an individual. What is an individual? The body, breath, mind, intellect, created by an I thought. I am an individual. Real self is already present. But I see myself as a part. That is an individual. You are an individual, I am an individual. Individual means what? It's a unit. The moment I say unit, unit is made up of the parts. What are the parts? Body, breath, mind, intellect, ego. Am I the part? No. Since the time I was born until now, I am. That I am cannot be divided into parts. So I have a false notion. So what is the false I? False I is an individual. At the micro level. So what about that false universal I? That is what the world is. Did you get it? Say yes. Again, I am explaining. Part space. You recognize the part, but I am saying focus on the space inside the part and space outside. They are the same. But for the sake of understanding, we say that space inside the part is the real self. Space inside the part means minus part. Consciousness minus body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego. What a beautiful metaphor he gives. So, the real self, with reference to a person, that consciousness is the real self. With reference to the entire existence, it is the Supreme Self. Fact is, both are same. No, but Master says, no, that is how you recognize. You recognize God is there in the temple and the places. God is outside you. So he is trying to remove that delusion. So, micro level, real self. Macro level, Supreme Self. I don't want to name God and goddesses, etc. So now this is real. What is the false self? False self is an individual. Did you get it? False self is an individual. Part, no, space with the part. Space is the original thing. Is consciousness. And part is body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego. I normally say I'm consciousness. I'm conscious of you. It means I'm an individual. How can I see that I'm conscious of you? Because I perceive through the mind, sense organs, which is a part of the body, intellect, and the ego, the I thought, reflected consciousness. So the way I see the false I as an individual at a micro level, there is a universal false self, the world outside. World outside, that is what this master is explaining. So I explained the basic how the metaphor is compared. But now, how he uses the metaphor, that also needs to be understood. Part space. Part space. We know it. Water is a reflected medium. You put the water, that becomes the water space. Part space is real. Water space is false. It's a deeper, but not very deep. So he gives the first. He says there is a great space outside the part space. He explains. Then you put the water in the pot, so it becomes a water. Because the water is a reflected medium, it also reflects the space. that is a cloud space. Do you know that the how penetrating understanding he had, and how he could understand? I would say almost 1500 years ago, he wrote this text. He says, I'm talking about water containing clouds. So the cloud contains the water, water is the reflected medium, and there are droplets of the water in that cloud that reflects the great space inside it. So that also becomes a universal reflected world, the world we see, the way I see you all in the computer, in the monitor, in the light, and this body, this mind and intellect all together. It's all part of the universal self. And I see it is different. Fact is, it is not different. It is simply reflecting. I told you there is a great space. That great space is reflected on the cloud. It forms the cloud space. That is a false idea and the notion the mind has. That is why we experience the four types of the consciousnesses. Fact is that it is one conscious. There is only one real self. There is no, there's a part space, there's an infinite space outside the part. Two spaces are there. You see that you can even make a grammatically incorrect statement to make thing understand. So there are two spaces. Third space, when you put the water, we have three spaces now, and the fourth is the cloud space. Cloud space. But when we discern, when we do the viveka, discern, we recognize everywhere there is one space. Why you are talking of the part space? Why you are talking of the water space? That is an individual. Why you are talking of the universal self? That also is a reflection of the same consciousness. There is only one consciousness. What is that? That you can say real self, you can say supreme self, you can say that is what I am. The moment I say I am here, there you are, I have to apply this conventional in my normal day to day living. But at the same time, I still recognize the space inside this part and that part is essentially one. It appears to, but the fact is one. So, what happens by discernment and dispassion? What happens? Awakening. What is that awakening? Now your mind never lives with the false notion. It lives with that state of consciousness. No, but what about? Should I say that my real self and your real self? No, you still use the same convention. That is why we say conventional method follows the convention outside. So I follow the same convention. The way you say my name and speak to me, the way I say your name and speak to you, the way you live your personal, professional, and family lives, the same way I also live. Nothing changes outside, but there is a qualitative change. Now the ignorance is not there. Conditional reality is not touching the mind. Conditional reality is not touching the mind because now you are 100% clear that I am not the body, mind, breath, intellect, and the I thought. It is irreversible process. The beauty of it is this. This is the this is this is irreversible. Once you reach there, you're getting those flashes when you share those experiences. But the time comes, what happens? It is irreversible. You will sleep, you fall into sleep. So, what it means, the individual self is going to the sleep, but you are working, but you're making an effort, but you recognize the effort is made by the body, breath, mind, intellect, and the ego. You do not, you are not, you are simply present. You don't make any effort. You still say that I am hungry. So your reference point is body and the breath and the mind. Reference point is not the real I. And then you recognize it is the real I, the presence of the real I is doing everything in the world. That is what the journey is. Anyhow, don't feel bored, close your eyes. Eyes are closed. So you just put the upper eyelid on the lower eyelid. Why I said so? You are awake and aware. That is why I said it. That is why I said it. So you are comfortable in any position that your mind likes. Be into that position. No issue. So you see that you are simply in a state of being comfortable and comfortable manifest through the consciousness. If it manifests through the mind has to make an effort. So when it has to make an effort, I have to see that you are different than me. Or the goal is different. Goal is at too far from me. Do you see that? I'm explaining the same thing practically. So look at the neck joint. The moment you recognize neck joint is a part, property, product of the body, and anything that is part, product, and property of the body cannot be me. But still, you look at it, you are aware. Then the mind rise in consciousness. How? You leave the physical, you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Yes. So if I say go deeper means you are simply aware. You're not doing anything. And then you enter into the state of calmness and quietness. You see, I'm adding one more thing. Yes. So first you look at, and then what is after calmness and quietness? And the calmness and quietness is basically an objectless state. Objectless state. So what is that objectless state? That is what we say emptiness or the space. So the space is awareness and awareness is space. We will go deeper, or you can contemplate why I say awareness. Space is awareness and awareness is space. Shoulder joints, be there. So when I say be there, I'm not saying you make an effort to reach there. Remember this. Why you forget? Non-seeker. Mind jumps to something else. That is why we have different layers of uh, steps or the practices to make us a seeker. So sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So now you understand that what it means by moving with it. You're not making any effort. You're not forcing. You're not focusing anywhere. It is just a matter of awareness. Did I use the word awake and aware? Yes, so you experience calmness and quietness, deeper calmness and quietness. I don't see anything. Obviously, you don't see any object, so it is an objectless state. Oh, yes, objectless state. What is that objectless state? The mind projects as if it is a infinite space. Yes, that is what the awareness is. Space is awareness and awareness is space. Don't make any effort. The moment you will make an effort, that I thought will return. The individual will return. Are you clear about an individual and the real self? The entire body is an object. So we are moving from object to objectless state. So as long as we have some identification with the body and the mind and the breath, these are known as the impurities. And that is why we have different layers of the practice to reach to a purification of the mind and to become a seeker. The seeker is one who instantly recognizes, oh, identification mind, I'm not with you. The entire body, now you see the sequence, entire body, yes, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. It's a rise in awareness because you have a subtle experience. You have a subtler experience. Where is calmness and quietness? But in the very beginning, I talked about it on none of my experiences. I'm separate from it. Oh, yes, you told us. So then what happens? Objectless state? Did I create it? No, it is already there. Emptiness, space. So from where I go? Space is awareness and awareness is space. That is what I discussed. I told you openly, I believe you all are aware. I'm talking of the space inside the pot minus pot. So that space is the space minus body, breath, mind, intellect, and I thought. That space is space minus body, breath, mind, intellect, and ego. Now see that. You are already there. Can that space or can that awareness be a part of anything at the individual level or at the universe worldly level? No. What is this? This is what the highest state of mindfulness. Do I have to leave the body breath? No, that is the problem. You are a non seeker. You are still thinking about the body, breath, mind, intellect. So the moment you identify with it, so you are doing the practice with the fear, with the pain, and the pleasure, with the likes and dislikes. And then you will say, yes, when you give me the meditation, I enjoy. But after that, I am scared. You're not a seeker. That is the difference between be very clear, easy. But when I say then you're not a seeker, it doesn't mean that you need to fight. You need to make an effort. You need to reset. We see the reset. Reset means I start again. So let us start again with the breath. You look. I said you look at the breath. Look at the breath means you are aware. Aware in the state of being awake. Let us go. Do you see the breath? Yes. It is moving? Yes. You see, I was startled by, oh, there is a big hole, there was nothing. When we talk of a Big Bang Theory, so we instantly recognize, the masters of the Eastern wisdom recognize the moment you say big hole. So it means there is a cover, there is a boundary. There was nothing except the big hole. What the heck you are talking about? That is false, that is ignorance. So when I say the breath, very good. You are aware of the breath? Yes. There is a change in the breath? Yes. Breath is moving? Yes. It has to move in a space. So, from the breath, aware of the space, where? All around. All around the breath. If I recognize breath as a unit, so there has to be a space all around the breath. Big hole. So what happens? I forget the hole or the space here and focus on the breath moving. That breath moving is an object. So recognize the space all around. Also, we reach there. The space is awareness and awareness is space. Why? Because we have to see objectless state. Objectless state is pure awareness. Who creates an object or sees? Mind. Mind is reflected consciousness. The mind will always see the space with the pot. And in the state of discernment and dispassion, we see the space is independent. Is the space inside the pot not independent of the pot? Yes. You destroy the pot, space is not destroyed. Oh, yes, I never knew it. So it's a different from understanding through the lane 1, 2, and 3. Little higher. Why little higher? It's a too much higher. Mondays, when we talk of the lane 1, 2, and 3, we are serving the ignorant mind before we move further. Here we don't care the mind. So, so journey is little different because here we declare that we are the highest level of a seeker who has followed all the layers. Let us see. Just we casually say we are aware of the breath. I can expand that, and you know. So you are looking at the breath. Very good. So when you are looking at the breath, you are awake. When you are awake, you see the movement of the breath. But then you make sure that you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You see that when you are not changing the rate and the rhythm of the breath means the doer is not there. Who is that doer? The I thought. Consciously, conscious awareness is there that I thought is not there. Because if I thought is there, it has to think and then it will change the rate and the rhythm of the breath, and the I thought has come. And the moment it changes, that is also not a problem. The problem is that the moment this I thought changes the rate and the rhythm of the breath, along with that change, it brings the every accumulated thought in the mind, the actions that we have done at the unconscious level. And it can change the direction of my mindfulness. That is why we need to live in an extraordinary awareness at this moment. How simple. Those metaphor, I made it simple, so we'll continue to understand. Yes, I was talking awareness of the breath and the space all around the breath. So when the science says there was nothing before the big hole, where the hole is, that is second object. So you are negating your own principle. Now I'm not going there, but here to make you understand, the moment we say the breath, I'm aware of the breath is moving. That is also clear. I experience, my mind experiences. So I do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. That is also clear. And at the same time, I become aware of the space where the breath is moving. That space is not the space inside your nose. That space is the same with the infinite space outside. You cannot claim. The way, consider the body as a part. So there's a part space. And that space inside and outside is one. Whether it is a space all around the breath or one scientist, if I'm not mistaken, 15 years ago, he said that if we remove the space and the water from the physical body, that reduces to a size of a matchbox. That much space we have. Why we don't see? Mind identifies with the body, breath, mind, intellect. I told you birth and the death, hunger and the thirst, sorrow and the happiness, likes and dislikes. So we have millions and billions of impressions living in the mind, and then the journey of ignorance continues. This is the journey. Mind, that is why Buddha says effortless, natural. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Awareness of the right hand. You are already aware. You see that how little we need to speak when we live into that state. But to make us understand, we use the language where even the language fails. Awareness of the left arm, then raising both your hands, placing it in your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We will share our experiences. If you have any question, you can also ask the question. How are you, Stephen?
Good, thank you. Always appreciate your lessons. I struggled the first half of today because of discomfort in the body. Some shoulder pains, my knees were bothering me, and when I got to the right when we were getting ready to close our eyes, I said to myself, I'm identifying with the pot. And what I need to do is identify with the space around the pot.
Yes.
And it was profound that the moment I said that to myself, everything lifted away. I felt nothing. And it was when you during the meditation part, when you said focus on the breath, I was like, okay, the breath is just part of the space. And then you said that. So I was like, okay, I'm getting this. And then I did a check-in on my body and I felt nothing. And I realized I was within the space and not being the pot. And so this all kind of came together for me, and it was extremely fast and very settled right now. So thank you.
Very good, my friend. You got the message correctly. And when you said, I always wanted to say, but it has come from your mouth, the moment we drop the identification, it's a profound experience. Even sometimes you have a very extreme pain and you de identify with the body, it is gone. We never wanted to say. But this is what happens in our life, in the journey of the self discovery. So, thank you very much for sharing such a beautiful experience. How are you, Cherry? Yeah, I think you have. Yeah, you're doing unmuting. Yes, it's unmuted.
Yes, I went out and I just I could hear you, and
You're
I
calm.
think yeah, I just think I was just in this space.
Very good. Very good. Remain in that space. I know that you cannot. You do not like to speak today too much. It's okay. Live into that state. How are you, Brandy?
Morning, I'm good. My experience was kind of like Stephen's. I identified the body as the pot, so I was able to focus on the space inside and out of it. And I still love my cat.
Still love your cat? Yeah, we have to ask whether the cat can express whether he or she loves you or not. We have taken for granted that she loves you. So that is how we live our life. I have taken you for granted that you love me, but internally, what is happening, we don't know. That's very good. Keep loving, cat. How are you? Uh, how are you, Sam?
I'm good. I feel like the size of a matchbox right now.
Right? What did you say?
I said I feel like I'm the size of a matchbox right now.
Oh, man. Yeah. 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 Fact is that even that matchbox is an individual. Inside what is located the real self. So a slight change in awareness changes everything. It is very good to be there as a matchbox because that has at least changed my awareness as an individual to that. It has become subtle, but still we have to go still a step deeper, but beautiful. And it brings the state of that calmness and a peace. That is what I discussed in the in the beginning. You have an extreme pain, and still I have seen, and Ashok has seen, my master used to give a talk for a couple of hours, and because he has a very heavy body, and 5 6 hours he's sitting and talking, he doesn't move. So can't we say that he was not feeling such a extreme pain? Yes, in the body. Body, mind, intellect, and ego, they will continue to work with the change. But you transcend that pain. He used to transcend that pain. How are you, Anesthesia?
Thank you. It was very deep and quick, unexpected, quick meditation. And this feeling of bodilessness is hard to explain, but I had a thought, it's like usually we don't feel space. It's impossible to feel space, but when you are in this bodilessness state, it looks like you can feel this, you can touch the space around and inside. Yeah, basically.
Very good. You reminded me of a lesson that I will give you in the future. And that starts with the question: do you actually see the space? No. No sense organ can see the space. But do I not experience the space? Yes. That is the point. We don't see the real self through the sense organ in the mind, but we know it is there. I have realized. But that's a lesson is going to come. How are you, Ashok?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It was a peace, calm, and quiet.
Peace, calm, and quiet. Very good. So during this week, listen. At least we should listen once, and then you start contemplating and reflecting on that. So the more you contemplate and reflect, you will see the revelation takes place. Like you all have, specifically if I say, Sam, that I was reduced to a matchbox, so I have contracted myself to a size of the matchbox. That very ego I thought does not stand. Or the Stephen who said that the moment I see that space all around, the identification dropped. Or when I experience the peace and happiness, this is what happens. And that too without doing anything. We are not doing anything. That is all for today. Smile on your face. Terry, I don't see the smile. Yes. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaste,
sir.
everyone.
Thank you.